There are a lot of games coming out in 2018, and obviously a lot of them are sequels to already existing franchises. So here's a list of the PGG team's most anticipated sequels from 2018. I feel like we should be Team PGG. It's so much better. Team PGG.
It's like a cycling team or something. Team PGG.
Like Team GB or Team Team PGG. It sounds better than
Far
PGG teams.
Though, isn't it? It's too impressive.
Too much sweating involved.
So first up on our list is Monster Hunter World, which comes out on January the 26th for PS4, Xbox One, and it'll come out a bit later on the PC. This is one of the PGG team's most anticipated games of 2018, no matter what Gareth Evans might say.
No, I was like PGT teams. You're supposed to say Team PGT. We just talked about this, Mike.
One of Team PGG's most anticipated games of 2018 is Monster Hunter World, no matter what Gareth Evans might say. The first non-handheld Monster Hunter game to come to the West since Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii in 2010. Monster Hunter World is an action RPG where the basic premise of the game is that players take control of a hunter who hunts monsters, which is pretty self-explanatory. Players engage a series of huge monsters in one-on-one combat. Once the monster has been defeated, players can use their leftover body parts to make new equipment, which lets them fight bigger monsters, to get even better equipment, to fight even bigger monsters. Monster Hunter World will support both single-player gameplay and co-op for up to 4 people, so friends can go on the hunt together. According to Capcom, the game will attempt to branch the series out to new players by being newcomer-friendly, while still offering the deep gameplay the series is known for. Yeah, so I'm excited about this, Jake's excited about this, Liam's excited about this. They've had a go on the beta, which was on the PS4 in early December. I didn't have a go at it, but I'm still very excited. It looks like a very good kind of representation of what a co-op game can be, just kind of doing stuff and organising like parties to take big things down and then using that to progress your character, and that's exactly the kind of co-op experience that you can get your teeth stuck into for a long time and keep playing it for a while, and it sounds like that's what Capcom want people to do as well. They're going to be adding monsters and adding features post-launch and having that games as a service thing going on without the games as a service bollocks like loot boxes and microtransactions, which is perfect, right? That's ideal. Do you want to? Are you going to quip?
You're expecting me to say something negative, Mike?
I was expecting you to.
I mean, no. Each to their own. You enjoy it. Have fun.
Okay.
Have fun.
Still feel like you're making
Who am
fun.
I to judge?
I still feel like you're making fun of me here, but all right.
Next up is Far Cry 5, which is due for release on the 27th of March 2018 on the PS4, Xbox One and PC. Far Cry 5 is of course the next open world shooter from Ubisoft. In this new installment, Far Cry swaps out the exotic locations of the previous games for the sweeping countryside of Montana, USA. In Far Cry 5, players take control of a newly appointed sheriff's deputy who has been tasked with arresting cult leader Joseph Seed, who is forcibly taking over Hope County with his cult, Eden's Gate. What a cult he is. Far Cry 5 is promising a lot of freedom for players, with options for stealth, carefully orchestrated assaults, or all-out guns blazing action. This new installment in the long-running Far Cry series looks like it might shake up Ubisoft's old, tired open-world formula.
Yeah, I mean, we are pretty much looking forward to this, although we did play at EGX and it was running like an arse. Like just an arse.
Laggy, just absolutely awful.
It was terrible, but you know, give it the benefit of the doubt, I suppose. Showroom floor problems, some technical difficulties or something they were having there, maybe. But you know, gameplay-wise, it still looks really cool. I do like Far Cry a lot, and I'd never really think of it as a series that I enjoy that much. But when I'm playing it, I really love it. So I'm looking forward to this big style. And perhaps the biggest game on the list for next year is Red Dead Redemption 2. It's the long-awaited sequel to 2010's critical acclaimed Red Dead Redemption, of course. That's coming out in Q2 of 2018 for PS4 and Xbox One. No PC release. Red Dead 2 is a prequel to the first game, and it follows the exploits of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Van der Linde gang. Rockstar have been keeping tight-lipped about Red Dead 2 so far, but we do know it will have a single-player story and an online multiplayer component. Red Dead 2 was originally meant to release towards the end of this year, but Rockstar pushed it back. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2, of course it's going to be on the list. It's like number 1, number 2, number 3 for most gamers, I should say, quite safely. hopefully a lot of people will be looking forward to this. Red Dead Redemption is held up by some people as one of the best games ever from the last kind of 20 years. It's like really, really up there. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Like the world was amazing, the story was great, the gameplay was ridiculously fun. Just being a cowboy and the ending and everything. It had all the ingredients of an all-time classic kind of thing. So it's got a lot to live up to. Red Dead 2.
Yeah, one of the ones I'm really looking forward to. I just love that world. To be just exploring the wilderness and all the mini games and all that kind of stuff. It was just so well fleshed out, and it's just so much character to it. The characters themselves were awesome. Whether that will translate in the sequel, just do what you did last time. It was great. Just stick to that formula, and everyone will be happy. So next, one of Sony's big exclusives this year is God of War for the PS4, which is sort of a soft reboot for the franchise, but is also a sequel at the same time, due for release in Q1 of 2018. According to developers Sony Santa Monica, gameplay has been rebuilt from the ground up, and the game will feature some RPG mechanics like skill points and crafting. Perhaps the biggest change, however, is the combat system. In this God of War, the camera is situated behind Kratos rather than above him, and instead of the chain swords he had in the previous games, this game he has a magic battle axe, which apparently will make combat a little bit more close up and personal. As for the story, it shows Kratos on a journey to train his son Atreus to be a fearsome warrior. However, the Norse gods are aware of Kratos' past, and they are taking steps to neutralize him in case he decides to come after them as well. Sorry, go on. I was just going to say that Jake likes this one.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
So maybe we should have got Jake in on this one. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm interested to try it. I've never tried a God of War game before. This is one that's kind of a little bit interesting.
It looks a bit different. It looks like they're kind of taking the series in a slightly different direction, as we've said in the voiceover there. Some kind of more close-up combat. The camera's in a different place. It's got this kind of earthier feel to it, I suppose. God of War is as a premise is pretty cool, like fighting gods and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of that kind of ancient mythology and stuff of all kind of creeds. So I'm really looking forward to this myself as well. And I know Jake is big style. This is an obvious one for our list, and it's one of the kind of strong exclusives that Sony's got next year. And it's really interesting to think where they can go with the story, introducing his son to it and stuff like that. That's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to just seeing what the story is for this one as well. And next up is just kind of like Total War as the series, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Total War Warhammer 3 hasn't actually been announced yet, but Creative Assembly have always said that Warhammer would be a trilogy with annual releases. We had Total War Warhammer 2 last year, or in 2017 I guess, and Total War Warhammer the year before that, so you can safely assume there's one coming next year, right? One thing that does throw a spanner in the works for that though is the recent announcement of a new historical Total War game. Total War Thrones of Britannia is a Total War game focused on the historical conflict between the Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, Celtic and Gallic clans, set entirely on the British Isles. Thrones of Britannia is the first game in the new Total War Saga series, which Creative Assembly say will focus on specific historical conflicts with tighter focus in terms of timescale and geography. Thrones of Britannia is scheduled to launch in spring 2018 for PC. So this is interesting. As a Total War fan, it's incredibly exciting because I wasn't expecting this announcement of Thrones of Britannia. I just thought it was going to be by the numbers Total War Warhammer 3, which they might well still announce at the beginning of next year for the end of the year. So who knows? There could be 2 Total War games next year, so that's cool. But for now, all we've got is Thrones of Britannia, and that looks flipping awesome and really exciting to go back to a historical setting.
Agreed. And last upon our list is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. It's an upcoming medieval-themed RPG from Tailworlds Entertainment, and as yet does not have a specific release date. In Mountain Blade 2, players will control one of 8 warring factions in massive battles across a medieval landscape. There's a good mix of strategy and action involved as players manage their armies in siege battles, field battles and skirmishes as they try to conquer the land. The previous Mountain Blade game, all its expansions and add-ons, are considered classics for their ambitious ideas, but the slight jankiness and complex gameplay have prevented the series from hitting the mainstream. But with Mountain Blade 2, the developers have taken extra effort to upgrade the game's AI, graphics and technology without compromising the depth the series is known for. Mountain Blade 2 is exclusively a PC game. Of course it is, because it looks awesome. Of all the games, it's probably my most anticipated, Mike. Of all the games coming out ever, I think I'd take this first. Even Last of Us 2 probably, because there's not enough sandbox games, and this is is what I just love the fact. It's a sandbox game, it's an RPG game, it's an action game, it's a strategy game. There's just so many elements to this game. I've played Warband for hours and hours and hours. I'm really strongly looking forward to this. Like I said, I would take this above any other game right now.
So there you go, those are our picks of the top sequels coming out next year, and there's probably loads we missed. Of course there is. You're going to tell us what they were down in the comments below, aren't you? Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. Check out that video right there if you want right now, and the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.